Hello everyone, I'm the Dynamic Dover, and today we should be continuing my Series 9 videos. And this time we should be looking at a theory on the 12th Doctor's other faces. As you all know, Peter Capaldi has had two other roles in Doctor Who, as Caecilius and John Frobisher. And these two characters had different fates from each other. Now I shall be discussing both characters. I shall begin with Caecilius, a character from Pompeii, a character that the Doctor saved, who had a family, who ironically had interest in the TARDIS. He bought the TARDIS and he fell in love with it. And I thought, well, now this is interesting because later we know Peter Capaldi became the 12th Doctor, but it was so weird seeing him in Pompeii and having a strong feeling towards the TARDIS, and that was wow. And what we know that the Doctor saved this character, saved his family, and this is something like how you see both Doctors. How the 10th Doctor said, "Come with me," and how they both touch hands and a giant paradox just explodes. I mean, no, to be serious now, you see that the Doctor saved this character from his death. He was supposed to die in Pompeii, and with his family. Like, this character shouldn't be alive. So let's fast forward to Torchwood, Children of Earth, the spin-off to Doctor Who, where Peter Capaldi played John Frobisher, a character who was working with the government, who was forced to talk to 456 because of that terrible prime minister they had. I hate that guy. He was such a jerk. And this character had a different fate than his ancient Pompeii character of him. Yeah. This character killed himself and his family because the Prime Minister, like 456, wanted to use children as drugs. And the Prime Minister told John that he was supposed to offer his children to 456, along with at least 10% of the human children population. And John took the matter in his own hands. He didn't want his children to have that fate. So he killed his children, his wife, and himself. Now you could say that John was a descendant of Caecilius. And this was the way of the universe and time rectifying that how Caecilius didn't die, and so they made John Frobisher die instead. This was time correcting that mistake. But then it doesn't make sense on why the 12th Doctor had the same face as both Caecilius and John. So now let's head into the theory. Now, Peter Capaldi isn't the first character to have a different face before he became the Doctor. Back in 1982, Colin Baker played a character called Maxwell, and he was supposed to kill the Doctor. And then 2 years later, Colin Baker became the Sixth Doctor. Now, we never got any reference to why the Sixth Doctor had the same face. And we never got it. We never wondered why. And we never questioned it. But in Deep Breath, we got a reference to Peter Capaldi's character in The Fires of Pompeii, how he said, "Who frowned me this face?" Like he knew he saw this face before. And he didn't know where it came from. Now, this is a theory I had back before the recent interview with Peter Capaldi on his former face appearances. And this was a theory I had. Like we all know, Matt Smith entered his own timeline, and because of how Clara entered his timeline, there was echoes of Clara. So this could have happened to the Doctor. Like you could have had echoes of him and his former selves all the time. That could explain the first Doctor's doppelganger in The Massacre. Could explain Salamander in Enemy of the World. Could explain Maxwell in Dark Infinity, and that could explain the two Peter Capaldis. And this seemed like a likely theory before the recent interview. And that interview states that the Doctor would meet this creature that would make us rethink regeneration. So we know that regeneration is random, and you can choose a phase. Let's look back to the War Games, where the second Doctor was put on trial and was found guilty, but had the option to choose his next phase. And until the Time Lords got impatient and picked a phase for him and forced him to regenerate. So, and let's look at Romana, a time lady that traveled with the Doctor in Destiny of the Daleks. We saw that Romana could choose a phase at where. We don't know how. We didn't understand regeneration at the time. And we never saw anything like that about regeneration again. But now with this creature that is somehow connected to regeneration, I came up with this new theory that somehow that this creature is connected to Time Lords, all Time Lords on a telepathic wavelength, and it chooses a phase that could reflect the new Doctor's personality. Like we have Caecilius that cared for his family, and Clara's like family to him. But then we have John Frobisher that was willing to do what was necessary to protect people from a fate he didn't want them to suffer. And we see both of these elements in the 12th Doctor. So this creature that we don't know about yet could be connected to the Doctor in a telepathic way that we didn't know. Like regeneration is still a mystery. We don't know where the faces come from, or was it always predestined that the Doctor will always look like Peter Capaldi? So this has been my theory on the 12th Doctor's face. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'm the Dynamic Duover.